Welcome to the Great British Mickey Waffle. We are a positive band of British voices, united in all things Disney. I'm Jill, and joining me tonight are my fellow wafflers. Next to me is the lovely Peter.
Hello.
We have Claire.
Hi, everybody.
We have Ben.
Hi, everyone.
And we have Becca.
Hi.
So, who remembers when apps used to just mean appetizers? That section of the restaurant menu that you find all those yummy things to nibble before your main course arrives. Well, these days it's got another meaning as well. And whether you're the sort of person that always has their phone on hand, or whether you're the sort of person that locks it in the safe the minute you go on holiday, you can't deny that these days the various applications and the websites that are available have become an important part of planning to go on holiday. Now, we can all agree that nobody wants to spend their entire holiday looking at their phone. I think we are united in that. But there are a few apps and websites that you can use while you're planning that can help you get the most out of your precious holiday. So I'm going to ask my fellow wafflers, give me your favourites.
It's so difficult. There's so many, but Jill, I do agree about having your phone and just not having it in your hand for the entire trip, because I think we've all done that. I think over the years we've had Fast Pass Plus, now Genie and Lightning Lane, and it's just so easy to just get bogged down in like, okay, I need to look at where I'm going next. But there are so many apps I think we've used over the years, and I think we should probably start at the beginning of the planning, and that's like looking at flights, because we've always used, was it Skyscanner or Kayak, to just like type in dates and see what works out the cheapest. I don't know whether have you done the same, Claire or Peter, Jill?
I tend not to use those particular websites. I tend to do a little bit of surfing around BA, Virgin. I do look at TUI. Different times of the day, different days of the week. And then I double check them on things like Skyscanner or Booking. Just to make sure that I am getting the lowest price deal. And the thing is, when you look on those apps and those websites, they're great. You get a really cheap, and then you realise that actually you still got to pay for your bags and your seat and your food.
And by the time you've pressed it, like, oh no, it's gone.
It ends up being the same. Yeah, right. So I tend to use, and actually I quite like the BA app. It's quite useful. It's very clear. They updated it about a year ago, I think, and it's really, really good. And I tend to use that when I'm in transit. So when I'm traveling, it gives a live update in terms of flight and what's happening. So I do quite like that one.
And if you want to use like the, I think we've always used the Virgin app. So I think you can do the same BA where you can put it add as your Apple Wallet to your ticket.
Yes.
So
you
then you don't have to worry about. Yep. But even though they still print off.
They still give you a boarding pass whether you want to or not.
Doesn't matter. I just want to use my app. I think only once have we ever been through it and they've not printed it off. And my phone has probably died when I got through. But
right.
Yes,
that's always my worry, is that it's in my Apple Wallet and my phone's going to die, or I'm going to leave it somewhere, or something happens. I drop it and smash the screen or something. I know it's not the end of the world. You can always get another boarding pass, but it's I tend to belt and braces moment in those situations.
I've used Skyscanner not for Orlando, but for other places. I've used Skyscanner, but we tend to do it more as research than anything else. We don't tend to use it to actually follow the links through to buy it. We do tend to do that.
Like with Skyscanner, you have a monthly view, so you can sort of choose. Okay, I want to go in this location.
Yes.
I choose the month, and it's like, okay, when's the cheapest time of the day and cheap, so you can work out what days work the cheapest, and then I can go onto Virgin or BA or TUI and then go, okay, where's what fits, and does it actually match up with Skyscanner? Because sometimes it doesn't, and it's like, okay, how much extra am I paying for bags and seats? Because not everything is included.
Yeah. There's always that disappointment, isn't there? You think, that's a really low fare, and then you go through and you find it's, hand luggage only. And
from somewhere the back of beyond to somewhere the back of beyond that you'd never heard of. And actually,
but that always foxes me. You're going to Orlando, Why would you go hand luggage only?
Oh, some people do.
Because it's cheaper.
Yeah.
Well, we only went for a week. We went hand luggage only.
The price difference was £280 return per person, or £580 per person.
Okay.
Yeah.
So for £300,
Half term in February.
after in February, it made sense for us. And we were only going for 8 days, so it was like.
How did you do that?
We took a backpack. And we flew with American Airlines, and their hand luggage was actually very good. One of our small cabin cases, or bigger cabin cases, we managed to fit everything in. We did throw some clothes away and brought some more stuff back. But,
left behind all of the shampoos and conditioners.
But we could have paid extra for a bag, but this was just going for a cheap.
I was going to say, in that situation, paying the £50 to take a bag is probably it's still going to be cheaper.
It's still going to be cheaper. So, yeah. I think it was just for that trip. It was like, okay, we didn't want. We also used it as a way as we didn't want to spend too much money because this was a budget trip, so we didn't want to bring too much.
It's never a budget trip. No. You can call it what you want, Ben. It never
this was back in early 2019. It was pre-pandemic, so it was a budget trip compared to now.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness! So flight booking, and I think the other thing to talk about in terms of apps, in terms of flights, is the airport apps. So actually, most airports have got an app. The London Gatwick one is great. London Heathrow is great. The MCO, the Orlando International app, is really good.
Right.
I think both Gatwick and Heathrow have got their rewards scheme, which is through the app.
Exactly.
Well. So if you're spending stuff in duty free or any stores and parking, and
you can earn points
and later on.
And they do give you live updates in terms of your flight activity. So it will if you enable notifications, it will notify you when your boarding gate is up. So if you're in an area where they don't announce the boarding gates, then you don't have to walk and you don't have to go and look for you don't have to go and look for it.
Or spend your entire time going
just staring at the screen.
Yeah, it's nothing worse when you walk through an airport. It's like standing at the station on a Friday evening on the way back from London. There's just this group of people stood looking at a board, and you're just like, use the app, go and sit down, have a drink, chill out, So I quite like the airport apps actually, and they're quite useful in terms of knowing what times things are open. I think last time when we travelled through London Gatwick, we were trying to get some food in the evening and didn't want to eat in the hotel. So we were like, well, let's go over the road. We'll go and eat in Giraffe. We couldn't remember what time they were open till. So it's quite handy in terms of those sort of logistics.
Mm-hmm. And it tells you what's like before security, after security. So like,
exactly.
Where things are. Because that's always confused us before. Because I think we've done that before. We'll go there for food. But then it's like, we won't tonight.
We may go tomorrow morning, but we won't go tonight.
But it's... And I think it was Gatwick last time we used it. And this was a few years ago before it was part of sort of Android and iOS that you could... it would pinpoint if you allowed the GPS where you parked your car. So not only could you note it down, it would also you had the option to
drop
a pin, say I'm here, so you'd know where.
That's a good idea.
Right. Okay.
When you think after a 9-hour flight,
9 hour flight 2 weeks later.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
Yes.
So I quite like the airport apps. Actually, they make me. I feel more secure knowing that something's going to tell me when I need to go somewhere.
Yeah. Good idea.
And we all have a bit of discounts, so whether there's vouchers and things, I know that they pop up at the time. It's handy.
Cool. So what else? What other apps do we find useful?
Well, we've done sort of... are there any particular apps we use on the plane? Because I know not all of us... I know you don't like me buying the Wi-Fi. You like to switch off.
I always buy the Wi-Fi. Oh no, I buy the Wi-Fi full package all the way, so I can stream. I can watch Netflix or Disney Plus or whatever.
Do you find it works okay? Because
absolutely fine.
Perfect.
Brilliant.
See, I just if I wanted to watch something on Netflix or Disney Plus, I'd just download it to my iPad.
Well, you see, I can't be bothered to download it, and I don't know what I want to watch until I'm actually there. And I've got some stuff that's downloaded that I can rewatch. So Loki series 1 is downloaded on my phone. Ted Lasso, both series, is downloaded on my phone, so I can watch those. But actually, I might, sometimes I'm not a massive fan of the IFE. I tend not to want to sit and watch a film. So being able to pick and choose the stuff on my phone, I'd rather do that. So I always buy the Wi-Fi and tend to stream thus. Listen to
the last few times
Spotify.
we've been, the infotainment hasn't been great.
Brilliant, no.
But that's probably because of COVID and things. But then also last time, just it didn't feel like there was many films. And I think maybe this is the downside of Disney Plus, where films have come out, they're on Disney Plus in 45 days. So I've already watched it at home. Do I want to? It doesn't feel that sort of new sort of.
I like. They do have some nicer older ones, older films, and it would be nice if they could have a bit more classic films on the in-flight entertainment.
Listen, I'm just happy to have in-flight entertainment that you can press the screen and it will work. The first time we
don't
went,
jinx it, Peter.
the first time we went, it was an old-fashioned flight. It was an old-fashioned plane, and everything started at the same time. And you had to wait while it came round.
Did the TV come out the ceiling?
To watch? No.
Okay.
No, it didn't.
I had one of those.
Yes. All right. Okay. Yeah.
We had one of those. An old Thomas Cook plane where they changed the aircraft.
Right. No, this was a Virgin.
Probably about 10, 15 years ago. There was a bit of a coup.
Right. Okay.
People had booked seats on Thomas Cook, and then a week before, everyone's like they were changing using old aircraft, which didn't have seatback TVs, and they had like the TVs coming out the ceiling, and it was like one film for everyone, and it was awful.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
This was 2010, and it really took us by surprise because 5 years earlier we'd gone to New York with Virgin, and we'd had on demand.
Yeah.
So we were really stunned.
The old Virgin Atlantic where you had the games, you could take the seat control out of the arm of the chair, and you could sit and play the games. That was
really compared to what we had.
Yes,
that was update technology compared to what we had.
You mean the one that dug into my thigh all the way home? Yes.
Are we talking about what are we talking about?
The remote control.
The remote control.
Yeah.
Okay.
That wouldn't come out of the side.
Is that a remote control in your pocket?
Unfortunately, what happened on that trip was, on the way out, they downloaded the wrong set of films.
Brilliant.
Was in the wrong language.
And so we had the same set of films and programs going out and coming back.
I know what they should have done, and now Disney's not using it anymore. They should use the Magical Express video.
Yes.
And they could have
on a loop for 9 hours.
I think that'd be fine.
Yeah. There's worse you can watch.
I have to say, I do like the Sky Map.
Yes, I mean that's strangely soothing.
We just sit and watch Sky Map for ages. Just see where we're going.
I put my AirPods in, have music on my phone. I'll listen to Deep Park Radio.
It is strangely soothing, yeah. Except I never know why they want to tell you what temperature it is outside. You're not going to go outside, are you?
Well, if you were thinking of it, you'd probably change your mind. Talking of Sky Map, actually, some of the apps I quite like are tracking other people's flights. So the flight tracker apps. Yeah, so I think Flight Tracker 24 is one that I tend to use. I'll just have a look at my phone because I've got like little folders.
I've used another one. I think it's called Seat Spy, but it's more for booking. If you've got Virgin or Avios or Air Miles, that you can use and set alerts.
No, that's a good idea.
So it's free for a small amount, but you can pay extra and get like a year subscription. But it means sets alerts as soon as they come available. Instead of you having to stalk the actual website, you can go on there and book it.
And I think it's quite useful if you pair that something like Seat Guru, where you can go and choose which are the best seats on the plane in your class and in which cabin to go to and which seats to avoid. I mean, they tend to be the same ones, the back row by the toilets, avoid.
Yeah.
And the bassinet seats
by the toilets.
Yeah, but it's quite useful in terms of if you're flying in an aircraft configuration or a cabin you've not flown in before, it gives you an idea of where to. So that's one that I tend to use.
If you're flying with Virgin and you're very lucky enough to be on the new A350-1000, make sure you turn on the camera, because they have a camera on the tail cam. And
they do, yes.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
They have those on all Emirates flights as well,
really?
Which is when we've gone to Dubai and back and stuff. They have them.
It's quite fun watching them when you land and take off.
It's really not.
It's not at all.
Depends if you're a nervous flyer.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. In terms of booking other things, then for me, touring plans, we are not sponsored, but credit where credit's due. I think Touring Plans is an outstanding website, and actually I subscribe to it. I pay the subscription because I think that you get so much content in terms of busy day guides. You get all of the opportunity. Room requests, I use that every time. You can, and I know we've mentioned it before, but if you're staying on site in one of their hotels at Disney, you can pretty much see the view from every single room on property. So if you are staying in a specific hotel and you want a specific view within your room category, you can go on and you can look at the views. And I do that every time I stay on site, and I put a room request in and they deal with it for me.
Well, what's funny is I have a tradition when we land at MCO, as soon as we've got through immigration.
And we know what our room number is.
Yeah, because you can't use your phone while you're in the queue.
No, but once you've gone on the monorail, the other side, look at my phone, I've got the email from Disney Destinations saying, your room number is this, and I'm going to, I don't know where that is.
Straight onto Touring Plans, have a look and see what the view's like, right? Yeah. And that's the thing, I think there is so much content. There are reviews, there are information about the resorts, restaurants, everything is fantastic, and it is regularly updated. I think it's really, really impressive. So I pay the subscription for it because I would not be able to plan my holiday without it, I don't think.
But we've only just decided to buy it for this trip, and we thought, well, we'll give it a go. We'll see what it's like. We've not done it before, but because we've always used other busy day guides like the Dib, but obviously the problem is everything's different now post-COVID. Who's got the right information, how things change, and we know Disney's got a lot busier, so we're going to give it a go, see what it's like. And
they do update you in terms of, so I get obviously I've had like a million emails from them in the last 3 weeks about park hours changing, busy day levels, crowd calendar updates. They'll send you ping you a quick email, so actually the park's going to be open an hour earlier than I thought it was. So you don't have to go searching for that information. They give it to you, they push it to you. And they do have ADR reservation finder as well, so you can have 2 live at any time with them, which is quite useful, similar to some of the other websites and stuff that you can use.
So but MouseDining.
Yeah, and they're obviously pulling from the same sort of process, because if I use them both, I get the trigger from both of them at the same time. So but I do like the Touring Plans one. It's very easy to use.
Yeah. Yeah. Good.
You use MouseDining, did you say, Ben?
Yeah, quite a bit actually, and we haven't paid for it. We've just used the free one where you can get a few free alerts. Well, the free one I think gives you 6 alerts, so you've got to your 60 days, and you can't get the ADR that you.
That's a lot. So actually, between the 2 websites, because you can view the ADR, you can do the ADR finder on the free Touring Plans one.
Yeah.
So you could have 8 between the 2 websites. If you're really struggling to find your dining reservations.
And this is the thing, it's 60 days, and sometimes I've had notification from MouseDining when we've been out there. That's how I got the one for Topolino's breakfast, and that was on the day. It was that morning.
Yeah, wow.
It's like, I think we must have been our second day of the trip, and I think woke up at 6 a.m. It was like, okay, breakfast at 7:30.
Brilliant.
And it was just like, okay, but it means I didn't have to go on my Disney experience and forever
and then,
refresh.
Think,
I want this, what time do I want it? I can just set how many time slots I want, and that is just...
Yeah, that's good.
You can be quite generic with it as well, can't you? So you can say breakfast, lunch, you just say breakfast, lunch, dinner, and it'll...
Yeah, give you all the time slots that are available.
Yeah.
And it will give you all the time slots, the MouseDining one, it will give you all the time slots that are available at that moment. So actually, if you've looked and not seen it, but actually there are 4 time slots available. That is 8:30, 8:45, 9:05 and 9:30. It will tell you all of that.
So
and then if it's one you like, you can put a finder on.
And what I like about it is that it doesn't just show you. You click on it and it takes you straight to Disney's website. Where all you have to do is go book and sign in with the My Disney Experience.
Yeah.
Login details.
Don't have to do anything else.
Yeah, it's not like you have to then go they're not opening another website, log in with that, or have the app open. It's just,
you don't waste time, because time is of the essence sometimes in these situations.
Yeah. Especially when you've done all that planning, and you think, okay, I want to make sure I get Tusker House breakfast, and it's like
I haven't got that. Yeah, I haven't. That's the one I haven't been able to get.
Oh no!
Ah,
We've got so many ADRs in our plan now that I don't think we could actually fit in anymore. That's our problem.
Yeah.
I think we'd just been spending the entire holiday eating if we did.
It doesn't sound like a bad
We haven't
holiday.
got to that point yet in our planning next year.
Yeah. So, Ben, you mentioned Deep Park Radio.
Yeah,
Tell me a bit more about that.
It's a little bit. It's a radio station full of Disney park music and audio from rides. So I discovered this probably during the first lockdown, where it was like we're all missing Disney, and it's like, okay, I just need to feel like I'm back in the park. So it was like, okay, I went onto the App Store, downloaded this, and it is now probably the most used app on my phone.
right, okay.
I will listen to it on a daily basis when I just need a little bit of Disney. And it's strange that you also hear things from
California.
But also different times. So, like the original soundtrack from Spaceship Earth, the narration.
Yes.
It's just
You get wishes on there quite regularly as well, which is
Yeah.
quite fun.
I've
use Deep Park
memorised. I
Radio
think it's
a lot.
in the UK. It's 3:40 in the morning, which would be 10:40. I think. I think it'd be 10:40 p.m. in Florida is the time that they do their daily fireworks, and then it's repeated a couple of hours later as well.
It's brilliant.
It's something I'll listen to during the night and just have headphones in and just I drift off to sleep with it. It just takes you back to the magic. Just that.
And you can listen to it on your internet-enabled speaker, but you have to say it in a very specific way. You have to say her name,
or his name.
or his name.
Its name.
You have to say, ask D Park to play Disney music.
Yep.
That's what you have to say. If you don't say that, it doesn't do it.
But
then it should give you an option of the different channels.
Yeah, and there's
which is
not
quite
just sort of music, as in not just parks. You've got 4 different options, and normally they do a seasonal one. So I think at the moment it is Halloween.
Yeah, and it'll
Normally
move to
it's
Christmas on the 1st of November.
So you've got the main, you've got the mainstream, which is the main radio station, and you've got a background area music, Halloween, and you've also got guest TV. So you've got what you'd hear in the room.
In the hotel.
All right, okay.
Oh, nice.
The mainstream is amazing though, because you literally are ride on.
Yep.
So you could, 1 minute you ride through
Living
Haunted
Wonderland.
Mansion, or Living in the Land, and then you get a bit of parade or a bit of background loop, and then you get a fireworks show, Phantasmic. You don't know what's coming next, and it's fantastic. It always seems to be Impressions de France on a Sunday morning. I tend to put it on if I get up early on a Sunday. I tend to stick it on in the background in the kitchen, and it's just it's such a nice environment, and it tends for some reason it's always Sanson that comes on, and it's a bit of Impressions de France. So I'm like, oh no.
It knows you're listening, Claire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The mouse is trying to tell you something. Yeah.
At least listening to it isn't as bad as having to sit through it. But yeah, it's a great Deep Park radios. What's the other Disney music one, Ben?
Subsonic? Is that the one?
Sounds
Subsonic.
Subsonic.
I think Subsonic.
That's also great.
I've heard of Sorcerer Radio as well. I think.
Yeah,
I think we
absolutely.
need to talk about the main.
Yes.
I think we do.
Yeah.
The main app for any Disney.
And also the Hidden Mickey app is quite good.
Yeah.
Cool.
Should we do
I don't know
Hidden
anyone
Mickey?
else uses that. Lyft, Uber,
Lyft, Uber,
Yeah.
Yeah.
the food and wine one.
Oh yeah.
What's the food and wine app?
It's called Food and Wine. I think.
Is that what it's called?
I think it's actually called.
Is that-
It's
the-
just called Food and Wine. Yeah, let's
Is
do that.
that the Disney food blog one, or is that the?
No,
No,
this
it's
is
just
a
called
different.
Food and Wine, and it gives you all the menus for the seasonal stuff with prices.
Okay.
And as soon as they change it, and also it's uploaded with pictures, so people will take pictures, and you can upload your own pictures to it, and people will see what the latest.
Yeah, it's really good actually, and that's one that we found out from some American friends, and I think it's one of those ones that it's useful to have, because sometimes when you're walking around World Showcase and you're like, what's it going to be? What are the hummus fries going to look like?
And
Or where can I find them? How far away am I from them? And
how often they've been changing the menus. Well,
Yeah.
it used to be Food and Wine would be the
yeah,
same from August
but now there's
to November.
some that
It's like-
arrive on the 1st of October and some that disappear on
you just
so it
have,
gives you the most up to date.
Yes. Good.
and it's a good way of budgeting, working out actually. You can also plan before your trip.
Okay, so my Disney experience. I have a love-hate relationship with my Disney experience.
I think we all do, really. It's one of those ones that
it's a necessity.
When it first came with, was it My Magic Plus and the original Magic Band, and it was something that we all were learning different ways of doing the holiday. How we're having to think, okay, this app is now where you can book your dining reservations instead of having to phone up 6 months before, and things were done differently. And as we all know, it didn't work to plan because Disney's IT, unfortunately, isn't the best.
I don't understand why. Right, so help me, Ben.
Okay.
This massive international company that does amazing things with technology, incredible stuff. They can make an AI Spider-Man. But it crashed in the window. But it looks like a human. Why can't they get an app to work reliably? I don't understand why it keeps crashing.
It's always been where, from before, you always had different hotel systems where then a lot of systems all had to link together. So it's not like it's one system. It's relying on a lot of, like, say, 6 different systems that do different things. So you might have ADR.
So the interface in the back,
you might have doing everything in the background doesn't talk the same language. It's all like that manual process of like, okay, translating this into this, so then it shows something else.
So the main page is in English, but then there's 6 other languages in the background,
and they don't all talk together. And this is why.
But no one speaks any of the other languages.
I know.
It's like the NHS.
They are.
So, do you remember when John talked about what was his stay at Port Orleans? And where it's a little bit like that with the drama of like, okay, I've booked from Walt Disney Travel Company. It says Disney in it, but it's not actually Disney when it's not the same system.
But that's the confusion for people who are booking, because even with like Disneyland Paris, you can book with DisneylandParis.com or Walt Disney Travel Company. You can get a better price on one than the other, probably by about £5 usually, not a huge amount. But the two things don't talk to each other because they're just different branches of the company. So they have different income streams, and the technology. You get
they've
different.
Been operated separately, and that's the thing.
Mm.
So Disney, I have to admit, since Genie, I've noticed on the app since we've been out there that it's a lot more stable. I know some people will probably disagree. Okay. There are still glitches, but it's a lot more stable than what it previously has been.
I agree. In May, it felt more stable. It felt more reliable.
And it's not like, okay, when we had FastPass Plus, you'd be in Animal Kingdom going, okay, Flight of Passage. I could refresh it 10 times and then I'll get a FastPass. I shouldn't be able to do that. That whether someone's cancelled it or not, or whether that's a glitch in the system, how do you know? And this is where...
Well, it's a glitch that we all used.
Yeah. But this is the thing, is from Disney's perspective, is it actually doing what it should be doing? Because obviously you don't want to have angry people get into an even longer queue for Flight of Passage when it shouldn't be, because there's glitches here. But also, we had the issue with my Disney experience as well when we checked into Wilderness Lodge. We'd stayed at Boardwalk for a week. We then transferred hotels to Wilderness Lodge. And so we checked in on the app, chose that I've put my card on there. It says everything's fine. Went to the desk, picked up Magic Bands, all of that. Everything was fine. Anytime that I went to pay with my Magic Band, it says, no, you've not got a card linked. Even though on the app it said that I had. We'd stayed at the Boardwalk for 7 nights.
There had not been an issue.
There hadn't been an issue. But as soon as we got to Wilderness Lodge, there was an issue. Hours were spent at sort of the front desk trying to sort this out. And it was one of those things, they were trying to work on computer systems that unfortunately not everyone, it all worked.
Didn't talk to each other.
Yeah, so one system was working, one system wasn't. So in the end, it was sorted, but
it was annoying.
It was just time out of...
It's just a bit frustrating though, isn't it? And there are things that I think are improved. The one thing for me that I've said I have a love-hate relationship with it, things update regularly. So things change.
Yeah.
And bearing in mind that, we're travelling by Disney's standards infrequently. We're not there every week. We're not a local who's going in and out every day. So would notice when things change. It feels like a whole new app every time I go. It's like the mobile ordering. I love mobile order.
It's incredible.
It's the best thing. However, What I don't want to have to do is choose my return time. When did that become a thing? I want to mobile order and then just tell them I'm here. But no, now I've got to choose a time where I'm coming back and then tell them I'm here. Why? It feels like there's more layers added.
Whether that was also during the reopening, I think, with mobile order.
No, that was happening in May. So because I couldn't get return times for various, like Tutti, I couldn't get a return time. I could go and stand in the line for an hour.
See, when we were there, they weren't letting you stand in line. You had to mobile order.
It was
they wouldn't let you unless
you were paying cash.
Yeah.
Right. So this is the thing. There are different layers that seem to add without any notice and without any explanation.
Because I like the idea of not taking cash with me and just being able to pay on the phone or pay on... I didn't
use any cash at all when I was there. I just used Apple Pay or my phone or whatever it was. And I think that the efficiency of the app is fantastic. I don't mind the fact it tells me I've logged in every time I log in.
Yeah.
But you know what? I'll deal with it. I do like the map. I do quite like the interactivity of it. It seems to be more reliable than it was.
Two locations, and it will tell you where to go and how long it takes you to get there. That's really
excellent. Good. I was going to ask that because way back in time we had a separate little transport wizard where you could say,
yes.
I'm at Port Orleans and I want to go to Wilderness Lodge. Give me 3 ways to get there and which is the quickest, blah, blah, blah. And you could do that. So presumably you can do that now on My Disney Experience.
I think that leads to another thing, actually, talking about transport. Because we've used a lot for Uber and Lyft, and I know Minivan are also on Lyft. So there are different ways of getting around and how...
and in My Disney Experience, are the buses in there as well? Because I haven't used it.
Only from your hotel.
Yeah, so if you
haven't yet got it from the parks, but if you know roughly how long it takes to get from your hotel to the park you're at, you can guess. You can work out roughly when your bus is going to get there.
And you can
do
I guess,
You can also do your walk-up check-in, can't you, on the app?
Yeah.
Which is when you're within a certain
as long as you're like at that
zone,
or
you're close enough.
We did a walk-up for Beaches and Cream while we were still on the friendship boat.
See, I want to know what the zoning is, how close you have to be.
We would
because I remember.
So
trying to get 3 bridges as we were driving. Jason was driving back from Epcot, and we were trying to get 3 bridges, and it wasn't until we actually drove into the driveway at Coronado that I could get it.
Okay.
I mean, we tried consistently all the way down the road, and it's all of quarter of a mile. It's not far at all.
You get far enough into it and it goes, nope, you're not far, you're not close enough.
Yeah, not close enough. And then all of a sudden, and I just want to know what that perimeter is, and then
so this is for places that you can't make an ADR for,
or you can make an ADR but you don't have one, so you want to walk up, whether that be Gico or Citrico's, or you want somewhere that anywhere.
But 3 bridges you can't make an ADR, can you?
You can't. No. So you have to be within a certain perimeter to be able to do the walk up.
Okay.
Which is
it's definitely on our list.
It is.
We are going.
And then you still have the issue that you don't have a US cell for them to notify you. So you still have to go to the podium and get.
No, it's changed.
Right. Oh, I see.
No, it's still the US number, but if you allow tap for push notification, your phone will buzz.
Oh, right.
So you don't need
there we are. That's an improvement.
Pager, you don't need that. So you can.
Yeah.
You don't have to have the COVID covered buzzer.
Yeah.
That's the one.
The one that the 3-year-olds had in their mouth for the last half an hour. Because that's
the one that we had at Boma last time and sat with our friends within 2 inches of the reception desk.
Yeah.
And sat chatting for like 20 minutes.
And it didn't work.
Oh.
And eventually
there's something about I just want to sanitize my hands every time someone gives them to me. I'm just like, just wait, let me just cover my body in sanitizer now. I'll take it from you. It's not nice. But Ben, you were saying Lyft and Uber.
Lyft and Uber. It's just, I think we know how good or bad Disney transport can be at times. And we've stayed off site and we've used Lyft and Uber quite frequently, especially when staying off site. And just being able to open your app and say, okay, I want to go from here to here, actually is only a few dollars. It's not that expensive. We don't hire a car, but we found, and we've spoken before about this, that just for us too, it's a lot cheaper. It's more economical for us to be able to just get an Uber and just go from whether it be Disney Park to Disney Park or off-site to Disney.
Okay, so confession time.
You've never used
You know what's coming.
Yeah.
I have never, ever used Uber or Lyft. I don't
Neither
even
have we.
have the
No,
apps
neither
on
have
my
we.
phone.
Neither
The
have
closest
we.
thing you probably use is Uber Eats, Claire.
I've used Uber Eats. I have used Uber Eats.
It's
Never
just
even
like
used
that.
that.
You choose it. You just choose.
I would not
Two
know
locations.
where to start to get an Uber.
Okay.
It's
I wouldn't
actually-
know.
I can do it, so it's very simple.
Is that the measure, Becca?
This
If
is
Becca
the
can
measure.
do it,
I
we
can do
all
it. It's simple.
I've
If you don't,
I've got as far as watching some videos on YouTube.
I'm
of
going
how
to try
do
and
it.
not order one, but
Yeah.
If they turn up at your door, then they'll be like, my house.
I'm going to make sure I
the
choose
doorbell will
ride,
ring."
not food. But yeah, it's
You can choose
literally.
food if you like.
So you've got an
With
Uber
your
account. You
card
create an Uber
attached to it.
account. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you don't have to add a card because you can use Apple Pay or
Okay.
and so that way to do it. So you choose ride, and you
Not
type
food.
in where you want to go. So say
Right.
say I'm at Coronado Springs and I want,
And I want to go
to
to the Grand Floridian.
There we go. I'll type in Grand Floridian.
I want to know what this is going to say because it's
How
currently,
far?
Currently from our location.
18 hours and 7 minutes.
well, currently it's saying gathering options.
$15,000.
Gathering options probably going to go. How much is the flight? But okay, what was it?
So it's-
Grand Destino.
No,
wasn't it?
yeah, we were,
Grand Destino. So
and it's quite good as well because
So-
you can change the starting location. So if you want to get a rough, if you're going out to dinner somewhere later in the evening and you want to know how much it's going to cost to get an Uber back,
you can also schedule it
Yeah.
for certain
You
times
can-
later as well.
Okay.
But
See how
at
much
the
you
need
minute,
an estate.
it's $11.96 to get an Uber
Okay.
X for up to 4 people from Coronado Springs to the Grand Floridian.
So how do you know which is your car?
Okay,
Because that's my. So we've talked about my anxiety around getting Ubers on my own and stuff like that. And one of my. It sounds irrational, I know, but is I'm just going to get in some.
Do you
I
trust
mean,
it?
I am going to get in some rando's car. Let's face it. But
Yeah.
the one that's
is this the random
how
you've
do
been
I
looking
How
for?
do you know?
how do I know
Do I trust them or do I
that
not?
that's
The
yeah
one
that a trustworthy? Nothing's going to happen, and I know which car I'm going to get in, and I'm going to get to the place I'm meant to get to.
Okay. Well, when you press confirm, you get a couple of minutes may happen before a driver accepts it. And then when that driver accepts it, you get sort of profile. So you get to see their picture, you get to see their rating out of 5. You also get to
Okay.
see the license registration of the car,
Make and model as
make and model,
car as
colour,
well.
and everything has to be on there.
Okay.
So you know what car it is when it turns up. Also, they'll know your name and you will know their name as well.
Okay.
So, but it's only first name, so you'll only see that and an initial. So you know it's them. And also you can tap and see their previous history and reviews. But you can also select, I will only want a 5-star.
Okay, so if you get someone someone picks it
You
up
can
and
change
they're a
driver.
3-star, can you change it?
Yes,
Okay.
you can.
I
We've
only
had the
do
odd
5
occasion a
stars.
few years ago where we had a couple that wouldn't turn up. But I think that was more, it was Hollywood Studios car parking lot. With
Oh, is that while they were doing the Skyliner building?
Yes.
Yeah.
I just don't. there was this little sign which said Lyft and Uber rideshare pickup, and
We
it was
couldn't
really
find
small.
it. They were there. We
That-
just couldn't find where they were.
So it was a mix with that, and so but also Uber and Lyft's customer support have been incredible. We've had a couple of times where we've had an okay driver where we think they've gone the wrong way or gone a slightly longer way to charge a little bit more, but they've
Is it
changed.
not a set cost?
It
So
is
if it says it's
now.
going to be $11,
It is now.
it not
never.
$11?
It didn't used to be. Sometimes
Okay.
with a regular taxi, whatever route you'd see,
Yeah.
it would.
a
add
London
up.
cab. You
Yeah,
go, take me
so-
to St Pancras and go the direct route. Don't go
Yeah.
all the scenic routes. I don't need to see that.
Yeah, we had that
We had it
with
in about 5 years ago now,
yeah. Was it?
where we were with family. I was in one Uber. Ben was in another.
Yeah.
Ben left before us by about 15 minutes.
Yep. We arrived 10 minutes after. No, we arrived at the same time.
We
Wow.
arrived at the same time,
Okay.
So it
and
was
Ben got charged about $20 more.
more. So and that was that. It's different how it works now. It's you see the price and that is what you pay.
There you
Oh,
go.
Right. Okay.
Right, okay.
So you confirm
And I
that
think-
beforehand. So and that is it. So the thing you have to bear in mind, there are surge pricing. So when it is end of the park and everyone's trying to order, you get that.
Yeah.
But if you're in Magic Kingdom, go to Bay Lake Tower,
Bay
walk to
Lake Tower.
Contemporary,
Right.
Grand, walk to the nearest resort, get the Skyliner or a monorail, or
Wait an hour.
or literally be one of the last people in the park.
Wait an hour.
And then you can get it, and then it won't be as expensive.
I can't imagine that the Uber drivers are very keen on driving around to. Presumably, you have to get to the TTC.
Yep.
Unless
that
must be a nightmare for them getting in and out. Okay, minivans come right to the bus stops, don't they?
But they're more expensive.
But they are expensive. Yeah.
They're a flat rate, aren't they?
No,
you can order a minivan, but they're
are they not? I think the starting is $27.
Starting flat rate. Yeah,
but then
plus
it's
whatever.
per mile after that. So it's we would never book them in.
We booked one once.
Yeah, because there was no availability of anything else. But
we needed to get back to the hotel because we had to catch the
Magical Express to get back to the airport.
Okay.
But
okay. Well,
and I think I'm right in saying with Uber and Lyft, obviously it's America, they move, so you tip them because you tip everything that moves in America, don't you? That's the general rule.
Presumably you can tip via Apple Pay in the app and you can choose a 20% or whatever.
It doesn't charge your card straight away. So it doesn't charge anything till afterwards. And once you finish the ride, that's when you can leave a star rating or you can leave a tip or
both.
Or both.
Or neither.
Okay.
And you can leave comments, and that's when. So with Lyft, we found that they now do it on a daily basis. So if you, instead of a per ride, so say if you got 3 in that one day, you don't have to do anything till like the end of the day, and then it will charge your card at the end of the day instead of it per thing. So you don't have to worry about as soon as you get out, or do a tip, I was focused. Just you want to get into the park. Don't worry about doing it until the end of the day. Because then if there was an issue, you can then raise it with their customer support.
Okay. And are they good if you've got a problem?
Yes. Yeah. We've probably had more refunds by just saying, we didn't have the best experience, but I would have said a 4 and it should have been a 5 or 8. That's all has been just something that if it didn't feel right. So I've just let a comment know, and sometimes they've just gone, there you go. There's either half the money back or there's a voucher for the next one.
Okay. Well, maybe I'll be brave when I'm there in December and give it a try.
I think you should.
Yeah. Cool.
Maybe.
So thinking back to my Disney experience, are there any other little interesting things that it does that we don't know about yet? Because we've yet to use it in this version. Because obviously way back in our last visit, it was a very different beast.
Well, all your memory maker photos just drop in there.
They do.
And be aware that if you share your profile with any friends and family,
they get the photos too.
They get your photos and you get theirs.
In the settings, you can choose not to share.
Yeah.
But you have to
just in case you share with anyone that you might not want to share your photos with.
Isn't there something about having to have your Bluetooth on or something when you're in a ride?
On some attractions, you need to have your Bluetooth switched on for the photo. So where it doesn't rely on your Magic Band.
I think is the.
I think Guardians of the Galaxy I've read about.
Guardians of the Galaxy, you need to scan a QR code.
Okay.
So,
but that's like when you come off the end of test track and you have to.
You have to do it in the
scan
queue.
them. Okay, beforehand.
Although
that's good to know.
Didn't we have it once where we got the picture anyway?
Yes, I don't know how that worked, but I think that because that wasn't the first time we'd been on the ride. So as it remembers your Bluetooth settings and your phone settings from the previous,
that's
so
useful
you should be able to do it once. But as long as you
probably want to do it once each trip though, just to be on the safe side.
But normally with the ride photo, it should just turn up automatically now, should it?
It should.
Yeah.
We've had issues before. But
that was Magic Band issues rather than.
Yeah.
I've had things where photos haven't shown up, and it's irritating. But
it's annoying, but actually,
got other people's photos.
If you get a photo pass and just let them know, they'll say, okay,
they find them.
Find them.
Yeah.
I think the other thing in the new iteration of the app is they have tip board and they have like My Disney Genie Day where they will give, if you put in your preferences, it will give you an idea. It will give you what touring plans has been fairly much exclusively able to do, which is give you an idea of where to go next. And it will push notifications, or this ride's got a low wait time. Go there,
This has got availability at this restaurant, or that sort of
does it really take into account your preferences? I mean,
it does. It tracks your activity. It tracks your movement. It tracks how fast you walk and where your preferences are, where you spend time.
It's not just you're a thrill seeker. It's you put in the attractions and you put in like it's not just.
But if I put
standard
in
carrots.
I'm a thrill seeker, is it still going to tell me? Well, Hall of Presidents has a 5-minute wait.
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
it will.
Because it's also Disney are wanting to push people into different areas of the park.
Yeah.
They
you'll
want to
find
distribute
that
their guests.
You'll
Yes.
find that if I want to go there and I'm a thrill seeker, it might put me on Small World.
Because I suppose the theory is just because you've said you're a thrill seeker doesn't mean that you're not going to want to do other things.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I'm
And
not
also-
more likely, by the way,
Because it will also-
as anyone who's watching this probably
It
knows.
will also take into consideration the party and the family.
Yeah, the age.
It's not just done on you as the individual, on your phone. So when you add it, you add everyone as your family who's included on that day.
I mean, I really think it is worth recognising that Big Brother is watching you. And all
absolutely. Yeah.
your footfall around the park and how long it takes you to walk from place to place, and they take into account what your preferences are in terms of eating and attractions, and even how often you go to the restroom. You know, all of that is recognised within the push notifications they give you and the recommendations they give you. So, you know,
This is just a development more of what we've had before, because
It
as soon
absolutely
as
is.
we had the magic band, everyone, oh no, they're going, is this for tracking?
I
And actually, do you know what?
totally accept the fact
Yeah.
that they're tracking my activity, because actually in some ways it might help me. I'm there, I'm paying them money. If they want to watch where I'm walking to and how often I'm going to the loo, go. You know what, if you've got nothing better to do, carry on. It makes no difference to me.
I'm waiting for the next update recommendations of this loo has
Which
no
one?
queue.
Right. Oh, for women that would be the best thing
This one
ever.
has no queue.
This one has been cleaned within the
restroom
last
has-
20 minutes.
This has been cleaned in
They
10
need that
minutes
in
and there is
Disneyland
no
Paris.
queue. I would walk for miles to find a restroom like that. And it doesn't smell. You have a smell rating from 0 to 5 like a Louvre. Right?
And you can update it yourself as well. So if you
Oh
go
my
to a bathroom and it's
Becca,
dirty and it
we
smells, you
have
can go on
just-
the app and you can go, right. And then
I
someone
need
will
this
come and
in
clean
the
it.
app. I need this in
If-
the app. I need it. I will happily do the ratings for all of them. I will absolutely fill out the detail for
I
them.
feel like, okay, I'll have a look at creating an app and let's see if we can make this.
Yeah, any app developers listening?
Ben!
Yes.
Yeah, we can give
That's
this a
what we
go.
need. We need the Great British Mickey Waffle
Full
bathrooms
bathroom.
app. That would be internet gold. I'm telling you.
This is what
it would be
happens
a
when
hit.
John is not here.
John would be
Oh, do it.
completely up for
Do it. You
it.
know you can. You know you want to. I've probably got photos of most of them. If not, I'll take them and we can rate
There we
them.
go.
Rest
Coming
in
to an
peace.
app store near you.
99 pence.
Right? Who wouldn't want that? If you're listening to this, let us know. Would you not want that app? Would you not want to know which restrooms have just been cleaned and like refreshed with loo roll and all of that stuff? Which have got the smallest gaps around the doors? All that stuff is really important. Sanaa would come out top, obviously.
Oh yeah. I mean, the restroom's not the well.
Well,
Well, the,
food's
the
good,
food's pretty good.
Yeah, the restaurant's pretty good too, but
Yeah.
the Sanaa restrooms are, invariably the best.
Oh.
That's it.
Well, there you
I'm
go.
done. My
You
idea.
never know where these conversations are going to go, do you?
I'm not going to say anything. It's just-
No.
We can extend it to the cruise line, Peter. We can add your.
We could,
add your
absolutely,
restaurants
yes.
To the cruise.
Yes. Yeah.
We
Oh,
do it
well,
worldwide. There's some awful
I
ones
think-
in Disneyland Paris. We could add.
Yeah, I think we've reached the high peak of our internet-related ideas, and I think there's a lot for me to think about there while I listen to Deep Park Radio and compile my packing list. So
That's another.
thanks
That,
for that,
that sounds
guys.
like another app. One
Yeah.
for your packing list.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Do we
My
use
list,
notes?
absolutely.
I wonder if there needs to be.
I use I use a notebook. I'm not that high tech with my packing list.
We could use Trello, couldn't we?
paper and pen.
Yes, good old fashioned.
Put a packing list on Trello. Yeah.
We'll help you pack. Have you packed this? Boutique.
Yeah.
Thank you for listening to the Great British Mickey Waffle. We would really love to hear from you, and you can find us at GB Mickey Waffle on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram, or you can email us at waffleon@gbmickeywaffle.com. There are many ways that you can support us, and the easiest way is to leave us a rating and a review on your podcast app. And why don't you share the show with your friends too? Don't forget to check out our YouTube channel and subscribe for even more waffle.